I am pleased to present my work on the mesoscale postmortem white matter atlas of the macaque brain using HPC global tractography. I have nothing to disclose. So, in this presentation, I will first discuss the methodology behind the ExaTract, the advanced tractography tool that we are currently developing at Neurospin and in the Forschungszentrum Jülich in the team of Markus Axer. Then I will develop the application on a high-resolution postmortem dataset. So let me start with a bit of background. In diffusion, we currently use what we call streamline-based algorithm. This type of algorithm typically starts from a seed point and draw a fiber following a small steps in the main direction of the ODF. Sometimes we sample this direction to explore the fiber space more deeply. This is known as probabilistic tractography. So the main asset of this tractography is its speed of execution. You can generate a whole tractogram in a few minutes on a millimeter scale datasets. It, however, suffers from angular error due to the low SNR that we have in diffusion MRI and from the multiplicity of fibers that we can get from a given point. Furthermore, we can say that the growth of the fibers is kind of blind since each fiber is found independently. To address these limitations, the concept of global tractography was introduced in the early 2000s. And these innovative methods use some spin glasses, which are basically small particles represented by a segment, and it basically represents a small portion of fibers. These spin glasses can establish a connection between others to form chains and at the end to form fibers. We define two things. First, the system, which is composed of both the spin glasses and the subsequent connections. And we also define the energy of the system, which is composed of two main components, the data attachment energy term and the bending energy term. So data attachment energy term tries to align the ODF to align the spin glass along the ODF, while the bending energy term promotes the formation of plausible connections. The global tractography algorithm starts with a random distribution of the spin glass. Then, following what we call a Monte Carlo Markov chain process, we sequentially modify the configuration of the system by randomly selecting one spin glass and performing some small modification of the system by performing motion, connection, the deletion, or the creation of a new spin glasses. According to the underlying Metropolis Hastings optimization process, this is supposed to converge toward an optimal tractogram that minimizes the energy system. You can find many articles in the literature proving the high robustness of the global tractography algorithm to the ill-posed nature of the tractography problem and to the robustness of up to the limits of the local modeling. And one can easily embed any further anatomical or microstructural constraints thanks to the flexibility of the energy function that we minimize in global tractography. So you might wonder why, if it's supposed to perform better, why is it still so rarely used today? First, it requires hours to perform a single tractography compared to just a few minutes with probabilistic algorithms. And second, it's highly memory consuming, especially at high resolution datasets. With today's emergence of HPC system, HPC means high performance computing, we can significantly accelerate the computation. So this is the purpose of ExaTract, the massive parallelization algorithm that we dedicate to a supercomputer, which will aim to tackle time and memory bottlenecks and to scale from millimeter scale datasets that we have in clinical and in vivo diffusion MRI to microscopic datasets that we can now have from ultra high field diffusion MRI datasets, and even to microscopic scale datasets that we can have from innovative imaging techniques such as 3D PLI, OCT, or X-ray scattering. In these cases, we estimated that the number of spin glass required would be in the order of the hundreds of billions of spin glasses. So to do so, we have defined ExaTract with two levels of parallelization. The first one is basically at the level of the node of the supercomputer. So we split the brain into as many parts as we have on the supercomputer, and then we deploy this region to the supercomputer where each node will perform the modification on its own area. The problem with these approaches is that it lacks of global coordination, so we define some overlapping areas between this region, and we implemented the MPI node-to-node protocol, communication protocol, in order to exchange the modification that happen in these overlapping areas. Then inside the node itself, we use some multi-threading strategy to spread the task to perform to each of the CPU cores that we have in a node. To do so, we use Cocos, which enable both the CPU and GPU compilation so that we have a portable software that can run on GPU clusters too. We have first tested the algorithm on a subject of the HTTP database. So using one process with 16 CPU cores, it generates the tractogram in 11 hours, so comparable with the algorithms that we find in the literature in global tractography. If we now split the brain into 128 parts, it took only 11 minutes when using 1,000 CPU cores to do the same computation. So we get an acceleration factor of 57 while using 64 more times CPU cores. So as you can see, the acceleration is not without a cost. This can be plotted with this type of plot, of benchmarking plot that was been done on a synthetic data set. So due to the required communications that are required with an increasing number of CPU cores used, the efficiency is lower when we use more nodes. So, but still we get an acceleration factor of 17 while using, for example, 100 more CPU cores. We have further tested the effect of the partitioning on the deep white matter bundles. So as you can see, we get the same result whatever the partitioning we use in input. Let's now move on the application dataset to a post-mortem macaque brain. This is actually the same dataset as Fanny Darrow used in his inner presentation. So the post-mortem brain was extracted by the iBrain team in Tours, and we used the Bruker BioSpin 11.7 Tesla MRI system to perform diffusion-weighted images at 250 microns across 3 shells and 175 directions. From these images, we extracted the ODF using analytical cubal mapping after a non-local means noise correction. We also performed some T2-weighted anatomical images at 100 microns, from which we extracted a tractography mask manually, with all the sulci slightly eroded. The brain was then split into 160 partitions using Metis, which is a graph partitioning tool that enables to balance each of the partitions and to limit the number of the size of the overlapping areas in order to prevent some from communication costs. We then deployed this partitioning on the Joliot-Curie HPC cluster using 20 nodes, totaling 2,500 CPU cores. Then we ran Exatract, generating 6.7 million fibers in only 18 hours. We then run an intra-subject hierarchical fiber clustering in order to classify the fiber with similar geometries. And from that, we selected the deep white matter bundles using identified region of interest. And we successfully recovered the deep white matter bundles, including the posterior commutature, which is sometimes hard to get. So this achievement forms the first single subject deep white matter bundles atlas of the Macaca fascicularis using HPC global tractography. To finish, we can say that Exatract software introduces a parallelized approach for global tractography by significantly reducing the computation time and addressing memory constraints and generating more fibers. Scalability tests have shown its efficiency on both large and conventional clinical datasets. Instead of taking 10 hours, we're only taking 1 minute, a few minutes to get the tractogram from a HTTP database subject. And in the macaque dataset, it took only 18 hours compared with 100 days if we estimate the time with a conventional dataset algorithm. If we now want to go one step further, we plan to manage the tractography and 3D PLI that are done by our colleague from Jülich. We estimated that we need 20 days to run it on Exatract, while if we use it, if we imagine that we have a computer that can hold in memory the whole data set, it should take, I should have started the computation during the Middle Age to get the result today. Well, I'd like to thank my colleague from Neurospin, and more particularly Dr. Malik Chauvel, who kindly accepted to segment the bundle, and my colleague from IDAS team in Jülich, and from the iBrain team in Tours. You can see me and ask questions to my poster, and thank you all.
Thank you very much. There's one question. Oh, it just disappeared. Oh no. Could you explain a bit more about why global tractography is a better method?
It comes from the fact that we are managing some interacting small particles that can explore in a more accurate way the influence of fibers, since we are not finding the fiber independently one from each other.
Lovely. Given that we're running late, I just invite you to find your speakers and ask the remaining questions directly. Thank you.
Thank you.
And visit them at their posters.